So, hey everybody, where we left off last with our ELA 9B essay was we had completed our conclusion and we were going to go ahead and do some revision work. So, we will get started on that right now. So, here we left off with our rough draft, and something that I like to do with rough drafts is read them out loud because it helps me find awkward moments or errors that I've made. So I'll start to read this one aloud. A good way you could do your own, you could always read it aloud by yourself in a room. You could read it out loud to a parent or a friend, and that'll help you find some mistakes. So, Dwight Lyman Moody once said, "Character is what you are in the dark." In this essay, we will analyze what this quote means to me in relation to my favorite character from the Harry Potter series, Severus Snape. He is a character that is misunderstood until the final moments of the series. He is a man who lives as a double agent and is negatively judged by his peers. However, Snape knows what he is doing is for the greater good. He also knows he is helping the cause by pretending to be evil. He is a wizard who can stand to hear terrible gossip about himself because he knows his true action is that of a hero. In order to better understand, we must look at his actions in greater detail. So far that sounds pretty smooth. I say Snape is a very buttoned-up character, not only in figurative terms of being secretive about his life and plans, but literally in his dress and appearance. In figurative terms, Snape's life is very mysterious. He does not appear to have any hobbies, he lives alone somewhere in the castle, and his past is limited to interactions with other characters. While one character was his friend, most bullied him. Now, something I could add here, I could say most other characters bullied him. That just adds a little bit more specific detail. He does not appear to enjoy social activities and is very private. In terms of being literally buttoned up, his costume is form-fitting and restrictive, which symbolizes his restraint. We also never see anything but his hands or face. Everything else about his physical appearance is dark, similar to how the audience is in the dark about his true intentions until the final scenes of the series. Severus is a Death Eater and has the mark of Voldemort. A Death Eater will pay with their life if they wrong Voldemort. Voldemort trusts Snape because he thinks it's, now see where I have this it's? That's a contraction. So it should say it is. Other contractions to look out for are don't, didn't, won't. Of course, don't would be do not. So change all those contractions into their long version, and that is a lot more formal writing. Voldemort trusts Snape because he thinks it is enough to scare him and threaten his life in order to control his actions. Also, Severus Snape makes the unbreakable vow to help Draco Malfoy kill Dumbledore. The unbreakable vow would also kill him if he betrayed it. For all of those reasons, Voldemort believes he controls Snape's life, and therefore Snape must be loyal to him. Because we see others as we are, not as they are, Voldemort assumes that all characters have his fear of death and will act accordingly if he threatens their life. Also, because Snape has struggled in relationships, Voldemort is able to manipulate his by being one of the few people who ever got close to him. So this should be manipulate him, not his. So see. Dumbledore trusts Snape for two main reasons. Another thing, we take out numbers and we put this in. For two main reasons. One, Dumbledore knows about Drake's challenge to kill him on behalf of Voldemort, which would help Draco prove his loyalty. Secondly, Dumbledore knows he is dying already from a curse he received while trying to break Horcruxes. Lastly, Dumbledore is the only person who knows why Severus Snape is actually loyal to Harry Potter, and that is because Snape was in love with Lily Potter. When Voldemort kills Lily, he loses Snape's loyalty forever because love is so much stronger than hate. Voldemort could never understand or feel love. It's his greatest weakness. I'd like to say, instead of this colon, and it is his greatest weakness. Or we could say, or his fatal flaw. That's another term they use to describe a fatal flaw or a flaw that kills a character. So, our conclusion, when analyzing the quote, "characters who you are in the dark," one must consider several ideas. Using a character from a book or movie is a good way to illustrate this point. I chose Severus Snape because the reader or viewer is not always aware of his secret nature, so they are essentially in the dark. It would be easy for the reader to judge Severus Snape as his peers do. However, Snape is the only one who has to know what his real character is. He is the one who knows his motivation is true love. He is the hero for acting the way he does. So this could be our final draft at this point. One thing I will tell you guys about submitting an Edgenuity, it tends to submit it in blocks just the way this is, so you don't really have to worry about double spacing. You could always come up here and at the beginning of each of your paragraphs you could either tab, that was the tab button, or you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can tab over like that. But that's not necessarily something I mark you down on because I know that Edgenuity kind of rearranges those things. So I guess that's all we have for today, and that is us finishing up that ELA 9B essay. We will be starting with a new one next week. I thank you for tuning in today, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Take care.